One of the problems that guitarists have when they're learning the guitar is to learn the fretboard. It can be quite complicated. I've heard it likened to having six pianos all on top of each other, because each string represents its own sort of scale of notes. So it can be quite intimidating, and that's one of the things that puts people off. But once you actually learn where the notes are on the fretboard, it really unlocks the instrument, allows you to progress as a player. But there's no really good way of learning that, because guitars don't tend to have the notes written on them. There's a few things you can do like stickers, but they're not very nice, and they glue up your fretboard, and I found they don't work very well. So that got us to thinking maybe we could create a cool game which would allow people to learn how to do the guitar fretboard. So this is something that we've built as an experiment. It's a free game. You can find it at this link here, guitar.glownet.uk. That may change, but if we do, we'll probably have a redirect on it, and you'll be able to find it if we do move it. But we're really interested in getting some feedback on whether this works for you, because everybody learns in a different way. So I'll dive in and I'll show you how it works. So if you point your browser to this address, you've got a choice of modes, and for this video, I'm going to focus on the precise mode, but just give you an explanation of what each of them are. Mobile is a simplified interface where it only gives you a choice of one note because you've got limited amount of space on the screen. Classic gives you an option of 3 notes, and you can choose where to place them, and if you don't like the choice you've got, you can get rid of one of them into here. But we're going to go with precise today, because that allows us to actually go down the fretboard and pick. So let's hit start. So a good place to start would be up here at what's known as fret 0 or the nut. So let's go ahead with that. Now, I happen to know that the strings run E, A, D, G, B, E in the open tuning. So let's just pop those in so we know where we are. E, and you can hear the sounds there. So A, D, and if you do give it a test, it'd be super helpful if you want to pop down an email address, because then we'll be able to keep you in touch as we add new features, which we are planning to do. Okay, so there's your top E, and that's a nice encouraging noise, and it shows the green bar there because we've completed that one. So maybe we should sort of build out the E string. So let's go with that. Let's see how far I can go without making a mistake. You can see my scores racking up there. Currently we're not timing it. I think we will make it a timer factor. So you can take your time, and it will sort of count up your score. You lose points if you get it wrong. Let's see how far I can go. I wonder how far I can push this one. F. So that's going to be an F sharp and a G. Let's see, it's going to be a G sharp and back to A. There we go. And then of course this string is also E. So what did I just put there? It was an A. So there's also going to be an A here. And in fact, all of these notes, so that's going to be an F, that's going to be a G, and that starts to help us fill it out. What could we do? Okay, so on fret 5, that's probably also a good one to pick some out. So let's say that's going to be a D and a G. So at some point you'll start to sort of tax yourself, and you can choose to only fill in the natural notes if you want, or you could pick out scales. What I find really helpful is that it starts to expose the bits where you think maybe you would give yourself the permission in your head and think, oh well, I got away with that while you're playing the guitar. This will actually keep a record for you. And another feature we want to bring in is to show you your progress with the scores over time. But what we'd really like is to hear from all of you guys as to whether that would be useful, because if it's not, we shouldn't really build it. But if you do like it and you want to see that, then leave a note in the comments. But don't forget to give it a go yourselves. I mean, that's where the proof is going to be. So okay, I think we've got a C and an E. And what the aim is here, this is something that's super convenient. You can do it on your phone, even in the browser. But it will be great if we can get some mobile apps to you as well, because they'll just work a bit quicker and slicker on phones. But having this in your pocket allows you to do it regularly. So whether that's weekly or daily, the reinforcement learning. And then, you know, sure, you'll be practicing on a guitar, but you're probably not going to be learning in this way. But reinforcing the learning so that you know quickly. You heard me hesitate a moment there. So guitarists shouldn't be hesitating. They should just know intuitively what the notes are, because that will bring you playing on so much. Okay, so that's what we got here. A sharp. This one is always good to know. So B and C are right next to each other. There's no sharps or flats in there, and that's always good to know and to teach yourself. C sharp. Here we go. It's building up nicely. Maybe we should mirror what's going on here. What do you think? F sharp, G. Well, the score's ticking up. This is good. We like it. D sharp, G sharp, B, C, because we already know. That's always encouraging. We get the nice noise when we fill in the fret. And the idea is that you turn all of these green. So what we haven't covered so far is the ability to share this with friends and to challenge friends. Now, heaven forbid anybody's competitive out there with other musicians. I know a few musicians who are like that. Then it's actually really simple to do that, and you can just challenge your friends. So if you sort of send it over in whatever platform you choose or you prefer, they'll get the challenge, and then you can obviously compare high scores. And we do actually have some good high scores in there. So there's obviously some very, very high scores come in. I wonder if anyone can beat those. Let's see what we can do. So I don't know. It'd be really good to hear your ideas and hear, you know, where you would like to see this go next. Obviously, with mobile apps, you could have regular notifications and scores and tracking and that sort of stuff. But as it stands, it is available on this address, and I'll also put that down below in the notes. Anyway, tell us what you think.